Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of our old friends and favourite people. And we've got one for you today. Russell Watson is back in 2016 with a brand new album called True Stories. And I think this might be the most beautifully diverse and inspiring album you've ever done. Russell, how are you?
I would like to say a massive thank you to you for that absolutely incredible compliment, my dear friend.
It's very interesting. When I've heard your previous albums, they've often had a theme. This doesn't have that. It shows me grand opera. It shows me you singing in Italian, singing with the crooners, singing great songs, new songs, old songs, religious songs. It really does show you in all your different facets. And I think that's probably what makes you unique, that you've got these different voices, haven't you?
Yes, I think it's almost... It's almost a flashback to the first and second records, which were very much that blend of different styles and repertoires. I mean, the first record, The Voice, which had everything from, Puccini's Nessun Dorma all the way through to, Ultravox's Vienna with the duet with Shaun Ryder in the middle of it. So it was an incredibly diverse mixture, eclectic mixture of repertoire. And this one's kind of, we're going down a similar route with regards to, just mixing it up repertoire-wise. And again, just putting together a collection of songs that I like. And also because we had the opportunity to tour the music for a very, very long period of time, almost 2 years of solid touring. And because of that, we were able to try some of the tunes out that are on the record on the audience and see which ones got the best responses.
Do you know what I love about you? I think I saw you twice live this year and you nail it. You're able to pull an audience, which is remarkable. I don't take that for granted. I spend my life in empty theatres. People try and work out how you do what you do and nobody can. And I think, and I always tell people, it's because you're not fake, that you are what you are. You turn up and you sing and perform. And I think people love old school. If you can do it, they will come and find you.
Well, I really appreciate that. And, I think sometimes you kind of get to the point career-wise where, I'm almost 17 years in now to my as an artist with a recording career, and to be able to still fill, the venues in the UK the way that we are doing up and down the country is a real thrill, and to know that people after all these years are still coming back to watch our shows. And I like to think part of that is down to the fact that, I always give my all when I'm on the stage. I give it absolutely 110% every time I walk on the stage. And I think people recognise that. There's nothing flippant about what I do. There's nothing flippant about my choice of career. I live for this. I almost died for it. Yeah. I mean, it means so much to me, and I think, certainly my fan base has got a grip on the connection that not only I have with them, but also with the music and the career path that I've chosen.
What I love about you too is that you make it look so effortless, but I always ask you this question and I'm fascinated by it. How much does it drain you doing 2 hours plus of those big numbers where you're belting the Funiculi, Funiculars, the Nessun Dormas? Just to watch you is exhausting. Do you have to have a lie down after a show, or is it a walk in the park now?
It's generally the day after. I feel I kind of feel the effects of what I've done. When you're on stage and you're performing, and even the sort of, 3 or 4 hours that follow, the adrenaline's coursing round the veins, and the thrill of, the response from the audience, and also the feeling that I get from being on a stage. I can feel pretty dreadful during the day, but and not particularly in the best frame of mind. But as soon as I walk onto a stage and there's an audience in front of me and the light hits my face, the adrenaline starts coursing through my blood, and wham, I'm alive. And so sometimes, I might get a sense of, some of the sensations that you get when you're on stage at certain events that I've done, really incredibly prestigious events and wonderful locations that I've had the fortune to sing at. And there is sometimes when you do these big, high-profile events, there's a massive sense of anticlimax once you've done them, once you've performed at them. I don't feel that every time I walk on stage, but when you do the really big stuff, I mean, the Commonwealth Games, the opening ceremony of that's a perfect example. I remember the day after, I didn't want to get out of bed. I felt so incredibly, massively anticlimactic about, this massive career high I'd had, and then the next day back at home. So there is that feeling as well as, but I mean, I guess above and beyond, and in answer to your question, I keep myself fit. I look after myself and I look after my voice. I know this sounds like a cliche, but for me, life is the high. The music is the high. The adrenaline rush that I walk onto the stage is the high. I don't need any. There's a culmination of issues that can arise in the music industry. There's a major issue with, I think, with a lot of artists, and surprisingly so. Whereas what might appear on the outside is an immensely confident human being with the ability to stand up in front of thousands of people and laugh and joke on some of the biggest television shows on the planet. Be chatting with Jonathan Ross on the sofa one day and singing in front of thousands of people in an arena, and then the next day the insecurities can kick in. There's a massive. There's always this. I think for artists in particular, there are people around in your life and your career that will support everything you do, positive people that will feed you positive energy. But for every one of those, there's 10 of the opposite in the music industry that will feed you nothing but negativity. Oh,
you want to work at the BBC? I'll tell you about negativity. I had 7 producers. I didn't see them smile in 18 months. It's a funny old game. I'm looking down the track listing of this, and I tell you what I love about this new album, True Stories, is it's not predictable. If I hear another one sing You Raise Me Up or The Prayer, you did it first, and that's fine. I mean, if another one does Anthem, you seem to have deliberately found songs that are so surprising. For example, Mia Paris, so beautiful.
There's people now even copying my gags on stage.
No.
No names mentioned, but yeah, absolutely.
I guess you have to take the compliment. You were there first and you're still at it. Or does that bother you?
It doesn't really bother me. I mean, when somebody's blatantly, our business model for last year's UK tour was made us one of the first to actually do that, kind of visiting, the more provincial areas of the UK and with a smaller setup, i.e., rather than using a 32-piece orchestra, we scaled down the size of the band, so it was only like 8 musicians, which meant that we were able to visit venues in the UK, that normally, the 700, 800, 900 seater venues that normally financially we wouldn't be able to visit because you'd end up coming out on a loss. So we were able to visit all these places because and now everybody's in the queue doing it.
It's very interesting. But when we look at your success, it's gone on so long and so well. I wonder what there is next to achieve. And then I look at the charts in America and I see you're doing extremely well. That's no accident. I know when we last spoke, that was your intention and you've done it. Congratulations.
The American dream is what I used to hail it as. And again, a cliche. But, after that period of time where I'm sick and tired, if I'm being honest, I'm sick and tired of talking about the illness, the brain tumour. But being quite frank, that period of time where, I was going through that, and there were certain things that I actually reflected on retrospectively. And one of them was, the fact that, internationally, my career would never ignite the way, it had done in the past. And that was predominantly due to the fact that, I'd been out of the circuit a while due to the illness. So to see the results of where we are in the charts in the States right now, I mean, the Billboard Airplay charts in the United States, it's probably, well, it's not probably, it is the singular most competitive pop chart in the world. And it has been for a very, very long time. And our first single from the record, Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough, went in week 1 at 48. And slowly, over a period of 11 weeks, it rose into the top 20 to its peak position of number 18. And just when we thought things couldn't get any better, we decided to release Do You Hear What I Hear from the record, which is we released as a Christmas single in the US. And after 3 days of airplay, we hit the top 20 in the Christmas charts in the United States.
You see, I'm not surprised because they have so many radio stations that play so many different types of music that find their own niche in so many different markets. Over here, you'll hear the same 4 songs on the same 25 radio stations, whether you're in Nottingham, Belfast, London, Manchester. Are we going to lose you to America? This is what worries me, that it's so big, you are so popular, and it looks so positive. Could 2017 see you getting on a plane and not coming back for a while?
I've been touring the UK solid now for 2 years, and for one thing that you don't want as an artist is for the audience to kind of get to the point where like, oh, we've seen him now, God, I don't know how many times, and sometimes to just, if you don't go away for a little while, people can't miss you. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, but never forget, nobody ever said to Frank Sinatra, don't bother singing My Way again. When we love you, and there's a reason we want to hear those big numbers at the end. But equally, I appreciate that you also have ambition elsewhere.
It's not even about ambition, though.
Right.
It's more to do with, not wanting to feel like I'm sort of overkilling the market. There's nothing infuriates me more than... Because at the end of the day, these people, that come to watch me are either fans or they're coming speculatively to watch a show. Yeah. I don't want to feel like I just keep ramming stuff down the throats. I mean, the record labels that I was signed to before are guilty of that.
I get it, but Russell, you have to appreciate people are not going to spend 50 quid coming to see you on the off chance they might not enjoy it. They love you and want to see you, and they've seen you enough times to realise that you give value for money. Never underestimate that. People aren't wasting money, trust me.
Ah, well, that's very sweet, thank you.
So in answer to my question, 2017, what do you think is going to happen? Is your hope to go over there for at least a while and tour the show, take it to the radio stations, take it to the people?
We've collaborated with an agent. We've not announced who the agent is yet, but we have collaborated with a major agent in the United States, and we've already got a PBS special lined up and confirmed, and we've also got some concerts for the bigger states in the United States, which is incredibly.
You see, and just to interrupt there, for people who don't know, PBS is like BBC One. I mean, it's proper classy stuff that people watch, and from that you can form entire careers, can't you? One play on there can really set you on fire.
Yeah, get in a full-on sort of national TV special on PBS. It is equivalent to doing it, on the BBC or ITV here. It's a really big deal. So
that's brilliant.
When that came in. And it's great because, my producer, Bob Rose, I mean, this guy's a legend. He's worked with everybody from Roy Orbison to David Bowie, George Harrison, Julian Lennon. I mean, the list is endless. And he was just, he rang me on this particular day, and he just says, "Oh, we got your PBS special." I've just opened a bag of crisps. And it's like, what? And I was like, backflipping around the lounge, because this is, for me, is huge. it's incredible. It's strange because this is some of the things that, you know, for the last 10 years or so, I thought this moment would never happen. I thought, you know, well, I've had a good run and I've done some amazing gigs and I've sung for a couple of presidents and I've sung for the Pope and all the rest of it, and I've had a really good run internationally. But you know, this is it, and I'm happy. You know, I don't feel any bitterness about it. I just feel like, you know, well, that's I had my good run internationally, and then all of a sudden, you know, we go to this new record label, and my career's starting to ignite all over the world again. And
I'm not going to say I'm right, but I remember saying to you 10 years ago when you did the Larry King show, when I saw that performance, I said to you, America is going to fall in love with you. And I truly believe that was always going to happen, because they know class and they know talent when they see it, and they will pay good money for that. And, you know, the relative benefits of being a big star over here to over there don't compare, because obviously it's so much bigger. And I honestly think 2017 is going to be an incredibly exciting year for you. I do, really.
Oh, well.
And you deserve it.
We're really starting to believe that now and feel that that's going to happen. That you know, the machines. And
nobody deserves it more than you. You've worked hard and you've done it the proper way, and you've always maintained what you've done. You've never done any crap like I'm a Celebrity or any of that nonsense. You're a singer and you sing, and I love you for that.
Well, thank you. I believe wholeheartedly that singers should sing.
But so many can't and don't. That's the problem. Russell Watson is one of my favourite people, and it's not surprising because I'm a great judge of character. True Stories is the new album that's available now, and it is magnificent, from If I Loved You opening the album to Mia Parry, which I just love, and Wee Small Hours is gorgeous, I'm Alive. The Lord's Prayer is the most beautiful version I think I've ever heard of that, and Do You Hear What I Hear is the perfect Christmas record as a bonus track on True Stories, which is available for download and in hard copy now. Russell, always lovely to talk to you. Please don't be a stranger. And when you're a megastar in the USA, don't forget that we've done 20 years of these interviews, please. They all disappear when they become stars.
Oh, bless you. It's always good to talk to you, Alex. And sincerely, you know, you've been a big advocate of my music and career for a very long time, and it genuinely is appreciated.
Are you suggesting I'm getting on your nerves or a stalker? Is that what you're insinuating?
No, it really is. In all seriousness, it's much appreciated.
It's a pleasure. Russell Watson, one of our greatest talents ever, is on tour next year. We'll find out whether he's doing any in the USA or whether he's doing them here, but the new album's out now. True Stories. Russell, thank you so much.